Yeah, and playing with Anthony Edwards and the whole Timberwolves, they was in the Western Conference Finals. So it's really just a blessing because I get to learn from a lot of players and veterans and players that's real good. So them helping me is just a plus for me. And then I didn't really get to work out with them, but I used to see Ant at OTE a lot. So.
Terrence Shannon Jr.
Last night, the Minnesota Timberwolves absolutely demoralized the NBA by dominating round 1 of the NBA draft. And in this video, I wanted to break down some film on Robert Dillingham and Terrence Shannon to show you guys exactly what they got, but more importantly, why I think this is going to go down as one of the best NBA drafts that we've seen in a long time because of what they can bring on the floor potential-wise. Dude, it's going to be a fun couple of years. It's going to be an extremely entertaining summer league, and I cannot wait to break down some of those games as well. Without any further ado, let me show you guys exactly why the Minnesota Timberwolves just did the unthinkable. Now, the main thing I love about Robert Dillingham is the quickness that he uses to create separation, but also, more importantly, the ability to score from anywhere on the floor. On this play specifically, we're going to get a screen by his big man. Now, what's different about college compared to the NBA is teams don't really send double teams. Like, this guy's not going to go over, and they're not going to have someone hedge over the screen as well. They're going to allow him to get the screen, and they're going to see what his defender can do coming off the screen. He chooses to go under, which when you do that versus Robert Dillingham, you're already putting yourself at a disadvantage because his quickness, his ability to stop, pop, and pull up threes is elite. Again, throws up the shot, gets it to go late in the game to tie it up at 87 apiece. Not only is he someone that can hit big-time shots in big-time moments, he is a clutch player, but also is extremely versatile offensively. Now, maybe the one knock about him is his defensive prowess, the tenacity defensively isn't quite there. You know, he doesn't have the best size in the world. He's not 6'4", 6'5", he's 6'2", 6'3". So obviously versus bigger players, he is going to struggle. But the offensive capability is something I love, right? We can talk about here all day long about guys who were massively underrated. Tyrese Maxey, Emmanuel Quickley, right? Some of the best guards in terms of scoring played for Kentucky, and he is no different at all. So instead of him going in the 20s, Minnesota decides we're going to trade up and go get this guy. This is a guy who can do it all. He can score at all 3 levels, and you can see it every single play. Look at how he breaks down his defender at this point in time. He uses his quickness to pick and choose his spots on the floor at pretty much an elite rate. Boom, stops on a dime, pull-ups from the mid-range area. Guys, I'm telling you right now, I love Robert Dillingham. And the main reason of that is because of how much he reminds me of a guy like Tyrese Maxey. Not just because he played at Kentucky, but the dude is an all-out scorer for a team in, Minnesota who struggled to find their identity scoring the ball wise when Anthony Edwards got tired late in that Maverick series. This is a guy that, might not be a day one starter for them, but is going to develop into that next level type of scorer with the right coaching, with the right development. Now, there are a couple of knocks on him, one being his passing ability. But I think that's something that will shore up with the mentorship of a guy like Mike Conley. And this is another thing I love about him, right? We're going to get a screen here by 23. It's actually going to be kind of a fake screen. Utilizes his, ball handling ability to get to the right side. Forces switch onto the big man here, and this is something that I think he could take advantage of the NBA in the NBA level with guys like Clint Capella, Rudy Gobert, Nikola Jokic. I think he can really dominate on the outside perimeter versus some of the bigs in the NBA. Something we saw in college, and again, something I think he's gonna translate into the NBA lifestyle as well. But again, I think passing the ball wise, distributing the ball is something he didn't have to do at his time in Kentucky. But if he can learn to do that, I think he can be a true #1 point guard for this team, not only as a scoring option, but someone who can really just get it going, become a flamethrower, right? Now, a lot of people compare him to Tyrese Maxey because of the Kentucky days, but I actually want to compare him to a little bit like Kemba Walker, dude. This dude is a dog when it comes to offensive skill. The dude can score from anywhere on the floor, gets a switch here, drives into the lane, he's going to spin off his defender, create a lick of separation, and get a floater off the glass to go. This dude is a different beast. Now, before we get into Terrence Shannon, which we're going to do in just a minute, I want you guys to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, turn on post notifications. We will be covering the T-Wolves throughout the entirety of the offseason, training camp, regular season, preseason, summer league as well. And look at this. Look at this one. I'm going to have to take this back just a second. Let's see what he does here. Just quick isolation, gets the mismatch that he wants. Sidestep a three. Again, dude, so much like Maxey. So much like Tyrese Maxey. It is unbelievable. And you get him at number 8 overall. I mean, listen, if I could guarantee you a future All-Star, would you take him at 8? Yeah. And trading up with a 2031 first, absolute steal, in my opinion. Again, his defense maybe isn't the best. 6'2", 6'3" type of player. I think defensively, he will fit okayly. I think the team around him will make him a little bit better defensively with guys like Ant and Jalen McDaniels. And wow, I mean, that shit was high off the backboard. Gets to go. Listen, I love Robert Dillingham for Minnesota, and he is just one of 2 of their really good picks on day 1 of the draft. Let's talk about Terrence Shannon. And then there's Terrence Shannon. This is another one of those players who I think is an absolute dog. Getting me at 27 is also another steal in my opinion. If it wasn't for the legal issues, this dude could have been a top 10 pick. I mean, averaged 23 points per game at Illinois in his senior season. He is a lefty, but man can score on all 3 levels of the floor. Now, I do think he has some development to do in terms of his 3-point shooting ability, but when you just watch this dude hoop, you can tell he has all of the intangibles in the world to be a big-time player, a big-time athlete. He's 6'6", can be a good defender. He's scrappy. He's going to do all the little things as he creates his own shot here. That mid-range jumper gets it to go so smooth, man. And this is just another one of those guys, right? Mike Conley is getting up there in age, but now having a guy like him alongside Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Mike Conley, and obviously Robert Dillingham, these are 2 guys who are going to be able to take over this backcourt for a long time in the future, right? Alongside Anthony Edwards as well. I mean, it is huge. Again here, able to stop, pop, catch and shoot a 3. I like his length as well. I think he can become a really good defender, right? He's a pure wing who can handle, he can pass, he can defend. I think he does everything, right? And again, you talk about getting a guy like this late in the first round. You don't see that too often. You don't see that. Look at this defense here. The hustle. Look at this. Look at this, man. This is something. Watch how he changes gears here. Realize that this dude is actually going to go in on my guy. He's going to try to get a nice little layup here, but not if I have anything to say about it. I mean, this is just huge by Terrence Shannon. Turns the extra gear on and comes in with an unbelievable play. Again, you can sit down. You can watch this dude's film all day and just be amazed with what he can do. On this play specifically, going to get a quick little ghost screen here, trying to get a switch onto a lesser defender. Doesn't really work there in college basketball. Again, they don't like to switch, but again, takes advantage of that inside leverage, drives in, and makes an unbelievable pass to a backdoor cutter who ends up getting that open lane, right? Now, this is something we see in the NBA a lot. Whenever you're a wing, whenever you're even a guard, doesn't matter who you are, right? Whenever you drive into the lane, you're going to draw weak side help. But knowing where the weak side help, the rotation is going to come from, is something that takes a lot of IQ, basketball knowledge, and that is something that Terrence Shannon has right away. So look at this play here again. He's going to drive baseline. Whenever you go baseline, you're going to draw extra help, right? Comes from the baseline, comes from the weak side corner. And then, right, in the NBA, you're going to have guys like Jalen McDaniels, Nas Reed, Karl-Anthony Towns. You're going to have guys like Anthony Edwards in the corner with that weak side help, creating open threes, right? You also see guys a ton rotate over here, he'll rotate over here, and sometimes you got to realize that your big man might be your open shooter at the top of the key. It might be, right? But you have to understand your court mapping ability has to be really good. And for Terrence Shannon, I feel like it's already at an NBA style, NBA, level, right? He's already making the right reads as a college player. Just imagine what he can do with some good coaching. Oh my God. This new era of NBA, by the way, is so wing heavy, and Terrence Shannon is one of those guys who can do it all, right? Defensively, can switch on to 1 through 4, can get big time blocks, get big time steals, can score from all areas of the floor, can handle the ball, can make the right passes. I mean, you talk about a good fit. This is probably the best fit of the NBA draft, in my opinion. You add him alongside all those guys that they already have in Jalen McDaniels and and Anthony Edwards and Nas Reed and Towns and Rudy Gobert. I mean, a lengthy wing defender, can play insane defense as well. I mean, the T-Wolves had probably one of the best defenses in all of basketball for the majority of the year. And again, you add this dude who can do it all. I think he'll be a day one contributor. And again, I am super pumped to see what he can do in the Summer League. I will be live streaming some of those games on my Twitch. Follow me on Twitch, is Matty Dubs with 3 S's. But man, the T-Wolves depth, I'm going to have a longer, more in-depth video covering these guys. I want to do this quick because round 2 starts in a couple of hours. So wanted to make sure to get this video out. If you guys want a part 2, comment down below part 2, man. Love these 2 draft picks. Absolutely stole both of them in one day, one of the drafts. Join the family. I'll see you guys in tonight's videos. Peace.